And that's our report. We'll see you tomorrow. Dan Rather will be back on Monday. Good night.
Get ready, America. Oliver! The insanity is back.
I've had it.
Return with all your favorites.
That'll be $2.
Tonight on Channel 4.
This is CBS.
These are today's headlines from around Minnesota.
St. Paul police begin a massive sweep-up of drug dealers' luxury cars.
The state wants a Moscow trade representative in the World Trade Center.
State officials are corked off about the Karkov vodka sign.
And the tapes are in, showing the Vikings getting unified at Pecos River.
Dave Moore here with Cindy Hilger.
Mark Rosen and Mike Fairborn will join us.
The 6 o'clock news on Channel 4 is next.
This is the Plymouth Sundance. Not only is it one of the few cars you can buy for under $9,000, it's the only car under $9,000 with a driver's airbag. Just think what you could save.
See your neighborhood Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
It's Boston, Boston, and Boston as the Twins head into Fenway Park for an exciting 3-game series. Catch the excitement on Channel 4 starting Friday night at 6:30 to see if the Twins can complete a triple play sweep of the Red Sox. It's all right here on Channel 4, the Twin station.
Oh, catch a season of excitement.
From WCCO Television, the community's first choice for news in the 90s. This is Dave Moore and Cindy Hilger. And this is the 6 o'clock news.
The FBI and St. Paul police are on the attack. They're after the luxury cars of drug dealers. The drug car sweep is part of a money laundering investigation.
It's the first of its kind in the Twin Cities, and when it's all over, authorities hope to have a stockpile of fancy cars worth $500,000. Jeff Kelly has the story.
This was the scene at the St. Paul Police Department this afternoon. A stream of fancy, high-priced cars being paraded past reporters. St. Paul Police and the FBI have seized 10 cars over the last 24 hours. They allegedly belong to Twin Cities drug dealers. Most of the cars were high-ticket Cadillacs. Estimated value of the whole haul, at least $200,000. Police say by grabbing the cars, they're sending a strong message to the alleged dealers.
I think what we're saying very clearly is that you might be able to sell drugs in Minnesota, but we're going to pursue you until we can take the profit out of it. And we are taking the profit. We're taking the heart out of them. We're taking away their cars.
The cars were seized under some federal money laundering laws. They say that sellers must report cash purchases of $10,000 or more. If that's not done, and if it's determined that the money came from illegal activities, then the goods can be seized, whether cars, boats, or houses. Police say they used records from old drug investigations to trace their way to the owners of these cars. They say some arrests may follow. And this isn't the end of it. Authorities plan to go after another $300,000 worth of luxury cars sometime soon. St. Paul police say this money laundering investigation may also signal a new direction for them.
It's really, I suppose you might look at it too, it's our first step into what is, I suppose, euphemistically known as white-collar crime.
The owners of the cars have 30 days to appeal these seizures. If they don't, the cars will be auctioned off, with most of the money going to the St. Paul Police Department. Cindy?
Okay, Jeff, thank you. Today, a federal judge ruled that another Minnesota drug dealer should spend life in prison without parole. The life sentence was given to Devin Wilson, a 25-year-old California gang member arrested during a crack house raid last summer in St. Paul. Wilson and his co-conspirator Richard Miller, who was sentenced yesterday, are the first Minnesota criminals sentenced under a new federal law which allows more severe penalties for repeat drug offenders.
Minneapolis police are taking on the task of matching up millions of dollars of stolen antiques with their rightful owners. The property, which includes 300 stained glass windows, was recovered from 2 Twin Cities homes. The antiques were taken from metropolitan area residents during the past 20 years. Theft victims can see the items or a videotape inventory of them by stopping in City Hall next week.
We are going to have proof that a particular item belongs to someone, and if we don't have that proof, we're not going to release it.
Stephen Bloomberg, the man who possessed the doorknobs, the windows, and other items, is now awaiting trial in Iowa for stealing $20 million worth of rare books. The sculpture of a pair of bronze boots stolen from Hamline University was recovered today and is being held by St. Paul police. The boots were found on the grounds of a New Brighton church after police were tipped off by an anonymous caller. A 21-year-old Hamline student and a 19-year-old University of Minnesota student were arrested. They'll likely be charged with felony theft on Monday. Police have suggested that the theft may have started as a college prank, and they're investigating several other students. Cindy?
2 young deer got lost this morning and ended up in downtown Minneapolis. One of the yearlings didn't survive the ordeal. The deer apparently wandered south from the river bottoms before getting trapped in an alley at 25th and Nicollet. DNR officials say each year about a dozen young deer stray into downtown St. Paul or Minneapolis after their mothers push them out in favor of this year's newborn deer. Conservation officers tried to tranquilize the deer, but one was accidentally wounded and had to be killed. The other deer is now back home in nature at Fort Snelling State Park.
Mississippi River has reopened to boat traffic now that crews have removed nearly all the debris beneath the Lake Street Marshall Avenue Bridge. It was 3 weeks ago that part of the new bridge fell, blocking the navigation channel between St. Paul and Minneapolis. The river reopened to limited barge traffic 2 weeks ago, and now the Coast Guard says it's okay for pleasure boats to make the trip. As for car traffic on the old bridge, the state may decide next week whether it can be reopened.
When we come back in just a moment, we'll tell you why a Billboard campaign selling vodka has the Gorbachev Reception Committee seeing red.
This is the 6 o'clock news on Channel 4.
When my bosses at Perkins asked me to tell you about our new chicken melts, I said no. They said a manager would make a perfect spokesperson, and I still said no. Then they mentioned a bonus. We have one melt with grilled chicken, bacon, tomato, and American cheese, and another with chicken, tomato, ham, and Swiss cheese. And at lunch, we'll serve your melt within 10 minutes or your next one is free, guaranteed, right?
Right.
Hi, I'm Joe Garagiola, and while the Wagners check out the great seats at Toyota's Big League event, here's Joe Morgan.
Coach, describe your new stars.
Like the MR2, fast, agile, and great with the leather.
How about that Celica?
Powerful physique, great wheels, all the stuff of a winner.
The Previa?
Oh, easy to manage and really carries the team.
Hey, guys, don't forget the 4Runner. It's a big hit, and it'll get you home.
Lee Trevino? All new models, great deals. It's a whole new ball game. See your Toyota dealer today.
For most pregnant women, the hardest part of pregnancy is the delivery. But for others, the hard part is just getting there.
Hi, I'm Cindy Hilger. Join WCCO TV for a special Dimension series on high-risk pregnancies. Tonight we'll meet a woman and her family and see how they cope with her complicated pregnancy.
It's just something that comes out of nowhere that you have to deal with.
High-risk pregnancies, tonight at 10 on Channel 4.
Each day now, we set aside time to accommodate the developments in the Gorbachev Visit story.
Little by little, that 6-hour June 3rd agenda is filling up, is lengthening. The Minneapolis Urban League is the latest to request a spot on the program. Gleason Glover, the league's president, has sent an invitation to President Gorbachev to meet with the city's minority leadership, suggesting that the premier seldom meets with minority factions in his travels and that they're often excluded from official state visits.
Late today, the governor's office said there will be time for only 2 official events, and it's up to the Soviets to decide what they will be. Meanwhile, state trade officials are anticipating a big economic boost from Gorbachev's visit. And as Pat Kessler reports, they are preparing to make the most of it.
No matter what it takes, people are lining up for a chance to meet Mikhail Gorbachev. One enterprising Duluth student even called the governor's mother.
Wants to give a book to the president and would like my mother to ask me to arrange this. So they're even calling my mother.
The itinerary is not set, but government sources say Gorbachev may stop by the governor's mansion. In addition, the Minneapolis Radisson is a likely meeting place for Gorbachev and state agribusiness leaders. Minnesota trade officials said today, meanwhile, that the state will open trade offices in Moscow and possibly Leningrad and Novosibirsk. Another office is set to open soon in Budapest to serve Eastern Europe. In return, Minnesota wants a Soviet trade representative here at the Minnesota Trade Office.
We feel that we need to have an official position over there because we think that sends a message to them, and it also provides a place from which our Minnesota business firms can operate.
Meanwhile, the Soviets are looking at photographs of the Twins celebration at the Capitol Mall in 1987 as a possible public event.
State workers were out here on the Capitol steps today measuring for a possible Gorbachev reviewing stand. But nothing is official until a Soviet advance team arrives in town next week. Pat Kessler, WCCO Television News.
There's another wrinkle in preparations for the Gorbachev visit that's stirring up some controversy.
This one has to do with advertising and alcohol, specifically billboards for vodka you've probably seen all over the Twin Cities. Darian Ward reports.
When Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev makes his tour of the Twin Cities, he could come face to face to face with free enterprise.
He's a modern individual who will be amused if he notices them.
But not everyone is 100% behind the billboards, considering Gorbachev is the leading spokesperson against chemical dependency and alcoholism in his country. Gorbachev has seen them take their toll on worker productivity.
We consider here at the Minnesota Trade Office to be a great potential insult to him. We think it could be a great embarrassment to the state of Minnesota, which is serving as his host.
But free speech in the U.S. is still free speech.
So when the Karkov vodka is gone, then the party is over. So that is the double meaning in the...
The firm behind the Billboard Blitz is Schmidt & Sloan Advertising. They came up with the idea as well as a dozen others. Jerry Schmidt, who's a partner in the company, says they weren't aware that Gorbachev and vodka don't mix, but says the campaign to increase sales appears to be working.
The client said, we want a board that people will talk about.
So what's going to happen with these 38 or so billboards scattered throughout the Twin Cities? At this point, nothing. The vodka company says it has no plans to take the billboards down or to cover them up. And even Governor Perpich told reporters today that he has no intentions of asking the company to take them down. But Richard Bohr of the Trade Office says he will still try to appeal to the company's sense of cultural sensitivity. He says if that fails, he'll just have to brief Gorbachev's aides on what the president might see while he's here in the Twin Cities. Cindy and Dave?
All right. Thank you. Mike Fairborn has the weekend weather forecast next. He says it will be a 50-50 weekend. Half rain, half sun. Details in a moment.
I want a pickup that's tough. I want those big swing-away mirrors. I want air conditioning, cassette. I want a big engine. I want big savings, and I want it now!
Breakthrough. A loaded Ford F-150 with 7.9 financing or $500 cash back for a total savings of almost $3,000 at your Northland Ford dealer now. Quality people, quality products.
Thank you.
Now, in addition to choice beef, Cub Foods offers you Western Lean. Western Lean has 40% less fat than choice beef and fewer calories. You can see the advantages to that. What's more, Western Lean comes from corn-fed cattle, and it's aged 7 to 10 days for a moist, tender taste. Where will you find it? Western Lean only at Cub Foods, and you thought we only offered low prices.
Carson's is having a 12-hour sale, and that's what I call progression. They could have called it the 720-minute sale or the 43,200-second sale. But the bottom line is it's only 12 hours. That's not very long when you consider the ground you have to cover. Menswear, ladies, children's, furniture, housewares. Yep, it's only 12 hours. What's required here is serious power shopping.
Last week, the WCCO I-Team uncovered the story of 4 teenage girls who may have been driven to their deaths. That case is now in the hands of a special prosecutor. But while we were telling you that story, the I-Team was working on another investigation.
It's a story about something that could endanger your health. It's used in daycare centers, restaurants, even homes. It's sold to help you, but could actually hurt you and pollute the air you breathe.
An Air of Danger, a WCCO TV I-Team report, Monday night at 10 on Channel 4.
Now, Mike Fairborn and the weather.
For what it's worth, practically nothing, I guess. I got a call today from a gentleman who said that we were complaining about the presence of prospect of grasshoppers and also the prospect of frost, and wondered if the frost wouldn't kill the grasshoppers. Would you call again,
I'm not
sir?
What
do you think, Mike?
An entomologist maybe could answer that question,
right.
not a meteorologist.
Well, I don't
I'm
think
having a hard time with the rain.
They weren't concurrent events, I don't think.
Probably not. We did have some frost, though, up to the northwest of us, and well, that must slow down ice cream business a little bit today, do you think? I don't know. 61 degrees. At least we saw some sunshine. 37 is what we ended up with for an overnight low temperature, and no precipitation yet. Partly sunny skies, temperature 59. Our barometer's falling. We've got some fairly serious weather out to the southwest and in the southwestern part of the state, and we'll show that to you here in just 1 second. Here's what we're showing on radar right now. We've had some light showers up around the Brainerd area and over into the Park Rapids area, but in the last couple of hours, a pretty good line of showers and thunderstorms developing, moving into the southwestern part of the state. You can see they're a long ways away right now, but that's where all of the action is taking place. Let's show you at least where the clouds are. Here's the clear skies we had today. Watch, though, in the last few hours, these clouds developing and blossoming here over the southwestern corner of the state, also some through the north. It's really affecting us. We're getting some of these clouds in here now. But just in the last few minutes, the National Weather Service now has issued a tornado watch for parts of southeastern South Dakota, a little portion of western Iowa, and northeastern Nebraska. These watches were issued earlier. They're expecting some weather there, but this is a new watch in effect until midnight tonight. No watches for us yet, but wouldn't be surprised if this weather continues through the night that they might extend those eastward a little bit. Here's what the morning lows look like. We mentioned frost up to the northwest. We had a report, too, of West Bloomington getting a little bit of frost last night. Now, I got up at 7 o'clock this morning just to look outside the window out in the Plymouth area to see if there was frost at my place. There wasn't any. But look at these. Temperatures up in the low 30s and the upper 20s up to the northwest of us. It looks like maybe the frost may have gotten as far south as St. Cloud and Alexandria last night with those temperatures dropping into the low 30s. Here's the current readings, mostly in the 50s and 60s across the area right now. And that's still about 5 to 10 degrees below what they ought to be. Here's why we're looking at some severe weather. Just to the southwest of us, a low pressure area. This is going to track just to the south of us. Moisture coming up from the Gulf. Showers and thunderstorms across all of the southern part of the state. In fact, over the next 12 to 24 hours, maybe as much as a half an inch to another inch of rainfall falling, and we could have some locally heavy rains tonight as those thunderstorms develop and move on through. High temperatures in the meantime tomorrow only in the 60s. It looks like Sunday will probably be the sunnier out of the 2 days. I hesitate to say the better. We need the moisture. Showers and thunderstorms developing toward midnight here in the Twin Cities. A low temperature of about 45 degrees with east winds at 10 to 20. Then for tomorrow, cloudy with showers and thunderstorms likely, at least up until about midday. 62 degrees for a high with east winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. And tomorrow night, showers ending, turning partly cloudy with a low temperature of 44 degrees. And Sunday, a sunny start, but increasing clouds again in the afternoon with a high temperature of 67, leading to more showers on Monday and Tuesday. High temperatures right around 70 degrees all 3 of those days. Overnight lows in the 50s. More rain on the way. Nothing severe at this point for us.
No more chance to complain about frost, though.
I don't think so.
All
Not
right.
at least for a few days.
I wouldn't do it anymore. Mark Rosen is up next with the pictures you've been waiting to see. The Vikings field trip to the Pecos River Learning Center.
Introducing the ultimate vehicle for weekend enjoyment. With tilt wheel, adjustable seat, power steering, and shaft drive. Introducing the toughest Cub Cadet garden tractor ever. It makes yard work as easy as a Sunday drive. The comforts of a car, the toughness of a truck. Cub Cadet. Tough American-built tractors for your little corner of the world.
Landscaping your yard is easy with help from Menards. Create a beautiful patio with 12-inch exposed aggregate blocks, $1.89 each. For classic looks, stackable retaining wall blocks are $1.44 each. Blanc's landscape fabric is the first choice of professionals. It prevents weeds and soil erosion and lets water and nutrients pass through. $4.99 a roll. Create your landscape and save at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
A truck you can live with, a truck you can work with, a truck you can play with, a truck you can stay with. GMC truck.
The S15 Jimmy has won acclaim from the toughest critics. Now, the new 1991 S15 Jimmy continues the tradition. Top performance and bold new looks. Welcome to the 90s.
GMC truck. It's not just a truck anymore.
Get special incentives on the new 1991 S15 Jimmy two-door.
Brass.
Kid stuff.
Country.
Definitely contemporary.
Kid stuff.
At Water Bedroom, you're going to find the bedroom style you're looking for. You're also going to find an excellent selection of wood frames and soft-sided water beds.
Kid stuff.
And wonderful styles for children. Water Bedroom. It's me. Right now at Water Bedroom, save on our Addison White Daybed with pop-up trundle and 2 mattresses, just $2.99. Wake up to Water Bedroom today.
The 6 o'clock news continues with Mark Rosen and the sports.
Well, one more phase of the North Star's immediate future has been settled.
It happened this afternoon, Dave. The North Stars will stay at Met Center for at least one more year after failing to reach a deal they could live with to play in the Timberwolves' new arena downtown. One major stumbling block kept the Stars out of this building: advertising. For instance, the Wolves have sold a lot of advertising space in the arena to Coca-Cola, while Pepsi is a major sponsor of the North Stars.
We've got commitments to our sponsors that are supporting us that give them certain exclusive rights, and we felt it was very important and it was the right thing for us to do to not compromise those rights.
Stein admitted that the arena advertising conflict will never be an easy one to solve. Under the North Stars' current lease at Met Center, the Stars run the building and its advertising, which appeals greatly to the team's new owner.
The ideal thing is to own your own building. So if we went downtown, we wouldn't be in that situation.
Now Baldwin will start working with the city of Bloomington for improvements he says the arena definitely needs. Of course, the Guns asked for the same thing before they sold the team: 20 more skyboxes, a bigger lobby, and a restaurant, and new seats. Well, the Vikings minicamp continued at Winter Park, but it was their 3-day journey to the Pecos River Learning Center earlier this week that still has everyone in the Vikings organization buzzing. Here's our first and exclusive look at some of what took place in the outward bound portion of the seminar. Literally crossing Pecos River, relying on your teammate, in this case, line mate. Herschel Walker and Chris Dolman paired off. In spite of the safety harness, there were very anxious moments, even for the best of athletes, as we look at Herschel here. The purpose: to remove one's comfort zone, learning to rely totally on your teammate, whether you play sports or in business. This was the toughest, affectionately called the Monster. Mark Duzbavic and kicker Rich Carlos doing the high wire act, under the watchful eye of their teammates and the founder here, Larry Wilson from Minnesota. Staff members, coaches, even Mike Lynn took part in everything. And you bet Lynn was scared, 68 feet above the ground, hand in hand with linebacker David Braxton, who could have asked and probably received a lifetime contract at that very moment. They made it safely to the end here, always getting more than their shares of pats on the back. Lynn talked about relying on David Braxton, who was a rookie last year.
To hear a rookie on our team gave me the encouragement and helped me across. And without his help, I couldn't have made 2 steps, let alone 1. It was very difficult putting your first step out there, and then to go the second one was.
It's like literally impossible to have an ego up there. You really got to depend on someone else. There's just no doubt, you know.
We'll have more on that at 10 o'clock tonight. Herschel Walker, meanwhile, in the Olympics. Don't be surprised to see Herschel and 4 other outstanding athletes in France in 1992 as bobsledders. Listen to this. Herschel, Willie Gault,